Welcome. In 10 minutes, we'll be watching Levea and Pingval play Imperishable Night Extra. I am Sakurei, and I'm your commentator today, together with Helio and Ivana, or otherwise known as Rivers.
Hopefully the match will happen in 10 minutes.
Ivana fan.
So what we can expect to see is Ghost Team from Levea and Solo Remy from Pingval. They are both holding the world record, so we're in for a probably tight match. And to go over the game a little bit, we have the nice cards like we always do.
Yeah, and about the system is pretty much the same as we have covered in the match 30 minutes ago. So are we going to just cover them again?
Yeah.
Okay, slides coming in. Yep.
The mechanics are pretty much the exact same.
The World Cup 2023 International Tournament featuring the Touhou versus shoot 'em ups. And each match features 2 or 3 contestants competing in a survival scoring category. In this case, it's a scoring category and of extra difficulty. And if you're interested, just visit our website. Yeah.
As for the mechanics, they're pretty much the exact same as Lunatic. The slide. Oh boy.
Okay,
we seem to be
the slides.
experiencing technical
Small issue.
Yeah, the slides just refuse to work. I think it's Rico.
It's okay, it's the same stuff as before. As like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
The only difference is we have 80 minutes of replay. 80 minutes of reset time instead of 120 because Iron Extra is a significantly shorter category. It's about
only
20
one stage,
minutes if you're playing a team, 50 minutes if you're playing a solo human shot. Yomo doesn't count. Yomo is a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yomo is like half of each team. So yeah.
Yeah. She can do both human and yokai stuff, so she's got a lot more.
Yeah, basically cheating.
Basically the exact same as the team.
Well, a significant difference from the last match is that Pingval is going to use a true solo human shot, which means that you did not get any time off from grazing in yokai gauge because you cannot enter in the yokai gauge anyway.
Yeah, the most you can do is like 20% of the yokai.
Yeah, so there's a lot of a cut down in strats of like what solo human can do. It's still going to be a very difficult run, but you won't see a lot of you won't see some of the grazing for some of the spells. Well, you will see later.
You'll see it on Levea's side.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gain point items to collect. You collect point items. Oh my god.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
So should we explain the like there's a accident like about the players? Should we explain that?
So main score is the same as before. Items and time collection. Time collection is through shooting, cancels, and grazing. We will not be seeing any grazing for time collection on Pingval's side because he's playing a solo human shot who cannot gain time through graze, but we will be seeing everything on Levea's side, which makes the category for him much harder to clear.
Yeah, there will be some like limited human grazing, but not much. Yeah.
The human solo human grazing that's happening in Iron Extra is solely to gain grace on the grace counter and to increase the value of the star items, which I'll get to a bit later.
Something that I think probably was mentioned during the Lunatic side of the commentary is that for a team, you can actually pull the gauge to the yokai side while grazing as focused. So we will see that from Levea here. I think it was probably touched on, but it wasn't important because both players were playing solo Yomu.
Yeah, and this year we adjusted the rubrics a little bit to to account for like the length and difficulty in rounds of each shot.
Yeah.
You could see that Yomu is a higher scoring shot as with the Lunatic, but Remo is actually like Remo's limit is around 2.55, I think. Yeah, and what's the theoretical limit for a border team? I mean, both teams, I believe.
Oh, you Sakurei? I don't know the limit.
For what? For Yomu? Well, the limit for Yomu
for Ghost team. For Ghost
well,
team.
for Yomu too. Like if they're interested in them.
If we're looking at the shots that the players are using, the limit for the realistic limit. Let me say that for Ghost team should be 3.15. But Levea's strat doesn't allow for that much, so if he gets a perfect run for his standards, we should be expecting a score at around 3.08 or so. If it's for Pingval, his splits or his potential is not that much higher than his PB. It should be if he gets his standards clean run, we should be expecting something like 2.46 to 2.47. So only like 10 to 20 million more than his PB is.
I see. Yeah, so
I believe you said Pingval. Continue.
There's an unfortunate thing about this match is that actually both players were a bit sick before the match. It's an unfortunate situation, but they both said that they are willing to play. So let's just hope for the best, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's fair if both of them aren't feeling too well. So they like even it out.
This is true.
Yeah, that's a positive way to look at it. Oh, Pingval is advertising for the IJ Sakurei.
And Sakurei, I believe you said that Pingval has Reimu record. Is that correct?
Yes.
So both of these players have record for their respective shot types.
Yes. So overall, there are 4 people who hold IN extra records. Pingval has 2 of them. Levea has 1 of them. I have 1 of them, and the rest all belongs to ASL still.
Yeah.
And because no one's playing the other shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Pingval is playing next year, he might pick up another human shot, like Solo Sakuya.
But the thing is, the Solo Sakuya run isn't actually easy to beat. Well, quote easy.
Because I watched that run, like ASL actually did a lot of human grading with Solo Sakuya. Like he did HMD grading and
correct.
People, yeah. So it's
crazy.
If you only look at those spells, it's a lot harder than what Pingval did with his Solo Marisa record or his Solo Reimu record.
I think it's definitely harder to beat than his Solo Reimu record. His Marisa run is way more polished than the Reimu run, from what I can tell. So I'm not sure which one of them should be harder, but if you're doing Solo Sakuya to beat the record, you will have to do the Grazers too, because they're tens of millions. So the Ichijou Grace that ASL is doing is actually about 10 million. I did the math long ago, because the Valiant Star item actually outscores the spell bonus loss. And for Honest Man's Death, obviously you don't time it down, but waits until the spell just dies on its own. Well, by shooting. You don't pause the shot, but that too gives several thousands of grace, so that's also a couple million extra. And beating like 50 million extra score, let's just say it's 50 million total, It's very hard in solo human shots because you can't make up with better grazing, better cancels in general. Notwithstanding, because there's a lot of things wrong with that run.
Yeah. However, Pingval has a new suicide strat that ASL never used, which gains around like 10 mil, I think. Okay, they have started.
It depends on how much grace you have, right? Since you're canceling imperishable shooting, you want high grace.
Yeah, we can leave that until the reset spell.
Yeah. So the stage starts the same for both players. They grace at the start, get like 3,000 grace, and then they want to get as good cancels as possible. The numbers they're going to get are different because the formula that changes between solo human and teams, that's not something that was of concern in the Lunatic match because both players were playing solo Yomu. But here we have one solo human and one team shot type. So the numbers for Levea are going to be lower. That doesn't mean his cancels are worse. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
There might be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. The main problem with the cancels in the extra stage is that they're all precise in every possible way. So,
They're very delicate,
So the thing is that, as explained in the Lunatic match, you gain extra time by cancelling bullets with familiars as the bullets spawn. And you want to utilize this in the extra stage too, of course. Which means that your damage control will have to be very precise because you have a lot of enemies spawning at once. On Levea's screen you see we have 5 enemies spawning at once and you want to cancel as many bullets as possible. And in order to do that, you have to misdirect the bullets properly because they're aimed. You have to kill the enemies at the right time, which means you have to do proper damage control, which is, by the way, much harder for Pingval to do because he can't bypass the familiars by shifting. So the yokai side helps with the cancels. They make them easier.
And also he has the homing amulets.
But yeah, they just ruin everything. That's
just
why
so
I
in
think,
the way for half the stage.
in my humble opinion, I think Solo Rain is probably the worst shot for the entire stage, like bar none. And that's including like Solo Alice and stuff like that. It's such a bad shot for the stage because you kill nothing. Right? So like half the fairies escape when you're playing. Because your shot is so weak.
There's a question on in the chat. Pingval is not really playing safe on each job because you don't get any time off from grazing for this shot. So all you need to do is basically just stay in human mode and cap it. Of course, grazing still gains some score, but like not enough for them to go for it, especially in this tournament setting.
Yeah, so basically, the only reason you would be grazing, like Levea is doing right now on Ichijo with the solo human, is to increase the value of the star items. But with Reimu, her grace box is relatively small, so you would have to grace actually incredibly well in order to make it worth it, because you lose the spell burners, because you can't gain time.
There's actually an interesting thing about Pingval's stage section is that Reimu has a special ability that she won't be killed by familiars. Like some familiars in this game can just kill you like an enemy, but Reimu has this ability that he's just invisible to other familiars. So you can see that he's using this feature of Reimu to make his cancels easier by just going to the top and go through all the familiars.
Yeah, like if you did that with any other, human type shot, you would just die.
Yeah,
you somehow squeeze through all of the familiars.
I feel that. So the section that Levea is on right now with the big fairies, that one is very tricky to do right because you want to cancel as many bullets as possible, and you want to cancel them at the right time. Because as I've said before, that you gain extra time when you kill enemies as they spawn a lot of bullets. But the bullet spawns on these is gradual; they don't spawn them in bursts. So getting the right timing on that is really tricky.
Yeah. One nice thing is that Yuko has such a wide spread, she can hit a lot of these like grouped up fairies for the cancels.
That's actually worse than using solo Yomo though. Like if you use if you have perfect control, perfect damage control, perfect character control, then using Yuiko at all in the stage portion is worse.
Yeah.
Because you got less shooting time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because it's way more consistent, people do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with because Ghosting has this problem that I'm not sure if you can notice it on stream, but the Mion for Yomo is like spinning a little, like wiggling a little bit all the time. And for solo Yomo, it's not a problem, but for Ghost, every time you unfocus and focus and unfocus, the spinning of that Mion is reset. So because the position is changed just a little bit, depends on when you like unfocus, you might just change the timing of your cancel just a little bit, and that just might mess up things.
Getting another taste of Ichijo here.
Yeah, completely ignoring Pingval, who has now reached Moko. But
Okay,
he was slow. He was slow with the POC. He ended up spraying some items there.
Oh, he grazed. At least he didn't drop anything.
Doing the
No,
opener
that's
graze.
true. But he grayed some items. Item graying is really bad in this.
Oh yeah.
Because you lose half the value of the items.
Yeah, I think because it's solo Reimu, like the DPS is just negative, and like,
yeah, basically.
he has to kill it fast, but there's no way to do that with his shot.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, and you can see even he's in solo human, he's still grading his none, because grading still gains a lot.
Especially when you only have one stage, you want to milk as much as you can.
Yeah.
I have such a hate-hate relationship with this first spell.
I don't know why people die to it a lot.
It's so annoying.
The thing with Iwakasa is that it looks easier than it is.
Yeah.
Because for scoring, you don't wanna like the spell gives you no grace, so you wanna do it in full human. But this is a problem for Yomu and Ghost team because they gain more time than Yomu. It's easy to rise above -30. That was a bad hit, by the way. Second
Really
non is not a
unfortunate.
pattern you should be getting hit by unless you're spinning it. Ridiculous to do on solo human.
We will not be
Yeah,
seeing
remember
any spins
they are
today.
not playing. They are probably not playing in their best conditions. So just wait
That's
for
true.
luck.
That's true.
Oh wow, Reimu.
That makes me wonder if Levea's actually going to make it past Kane this stream if he's not playing at his best.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you spin it, Ichijo is one of the hardest patterns in the game. Not just in this category, but including the main game.
Most definitely.
And no one can tell me anything else.
It's like there's so many minor intricacies to it that like even after playing this category for a while, I still feel like I know nothing about the pattern.
Yeah, even though it's just like a spinning pattern, there are a lot of details that you have to master only after like 100 hours of practice. a really hard grade.
So, Ichijo can be split up in 3 phases, and each phase happens twice.
Oh, here we go, the Sakurei lecture.
And there's phase number 1 where you have to think of the pattern in groups. So each lane, each 4 lane set is one group, and you wanna use these groups to your advantage to stay close to the ball that's forming in the middle, because that's where all the graze is. And the second phase, which is what Levea is doing right now, is when you hug the ball and move along the lanes. You have to jump, depending on where Kano shoots her ball, the ball being aimed at you directly.
And he just spawned it.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's trying to finish the run, just so he gets something on the board. And if you do Ichijo really well, you can get 3,000 grace. But Levea isn't at that level. He gets like 2,500 to 2,600, which is good enough.
That's still pretty good. I think I tried just for an hour, and the best I can do is like 2 kills.
Also, the 2 patterns that Pingval is just done, Zufu and this one, which is HMD. Remember these for later.
Yeah,
we
forgot to cover it, but
we're gonna see some very different strategies when we get to them on Levea's side.
HMD spin. I don't think that actually gains more, right? Like the spinning strat on HMD.
Spin strat.
Spin strat is a meme for a reason. It gives no grace and it's way harder than anything else.
Yeah, I don't think it actually, like, the grade is actually lower, so...
You do spin in the stage though, just not on Honestman stuff. You spin the first non as you've seen from Pingval. You can also spin the second non, which you will not see because I'm the only idiot doing it. And you also kind of spin in imperishable shooting, which you might see if Levea gets there. It's more like sort of grazing, not really a spin, but you know, it's the same movement, so it counts.
So something interesting I noticed is that Pingval keeps POCing before all of the time orbs come to him after the spells.
Yeah, that's just inoptimal. That's just bad.
Unlike the main game, you actually don't want to do that.
There's one reason why he might do it, for safety, because Rain is very slow. So it's possible that waiting for all the time orbs means that you're at risk of getting hit by the spawning bullets.
Okay, so this is a pretty hard survival spell that is starting pretty well actually. And all out keeping his human gods, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so Phoenix Tail takes literally 12 years with a solo human shot.
Yeah.
So true.
It took him literally 40 seconds, and he was staying under the boss. If you do it optimally,
here we go.
If you do it optimally, then you would stay on the side, which would mean it takes like 10 to 15 seconds longer. Don't expect anyone to cap the Rings of Doom. They're impossible. Hardest pattern in the stage.
But he's dash bomb. I think in his route, he usually just spend 2 regular bombs on this now.
Ideally, you wouldn't spend more than 1, but yeah. Well, ideally you wouldn't spend any, but you know.
I think everyone who's playing the stage actually routes a bomb for that pattern. I don't think there's anyone who's playing this that's confident enough in dodging that to just go for it. We're not EOSD players. That's a terrible death.
Oh, that sucks.
That's really, really
so bad. Yeah,
at least the star items looks pretty.
Bruh.
So what you have to remember is Moko drops
actually, Levea is on Moko right now.
Yeah, but he's on Moko with a failed Ichijo, so...
Yeah.
Well, only one spell failed so far. That's still pretty good.
It's not PB pace.
Unfortunately.
Regarding deaths, a death in this stage costs at least 100 million because the endgame bonus is 2.0 and not 1.5 like on Lunatic, which means that each life is worth 50 million. On top of that, Moku spawns 45 items per spell after each spell is over, besides the survival. And when you don't have full power, like say after a death, you miss 20 of those items. Because they get turned into power items. And depending on, well, it's a bit less for solo humans because they don't have as much PIV because they don't race. But in return, the score's also overall lower, so it's like terrible.
That was a pretty scary dodge.
Yeah, I want to point out that he actually waits a bit on the second spell because it gets you a much larger cancel. It seems like solo Reimu gets to not have to wait there. He doesn't have to wait there, from what I saw.
Yeah, one weird thing that's interesting about solo Reimu versus Ghost Team is that solo Reimu is actually stronger on Moko spells than Ghost Team Yomu. The reason for that is probably because they messed up the coding.
Stronger in terms of damage.
Stronger in terms of damage.
Yomu does significantly less damage against Moku compared to like every other boss in the game, and it's also present on Yuyuko's last spell or last word, like the Ghost Team Yomu doing less damage against that as well. Probably something to do with.
The reason for that is probably because Zoom coded in like a damage cap for Yuyuko that also ended up transferring over to Yomu. Because if Yuyuko hits like everything at once, she's going to deal massive amounts of damage, and Zoom probably wants to prevent that. But he also isn't so good at coding, so he messed it up and also transferred it to the shot.
Yeah.
Kaguya should be as long as Moko's. Oh no, that would be terrible.
Okay, Xufu. Xufu is...
Here we go.
It's easy but hard.
Yeah.
The reason
that's like the best way to describe it.
It's easy is because getting consistent caps is pretty simple. Once you learn the route, that is.
Right at the start too. That's so unfortunate.
Oh,
that's...
It's easy until
that, by the way. It's easy getting consistent, but it's hard getting good captures.
Yeah.
I think... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The main problem with Xufu is optimization and not cap rate. That's the... Of course, if you're trying very hard, it's going to be harder. But if you're not trying so hard, say you want to get 11,000 time from it, which is like, okay, you learned the route, that's that level, then it's very easy. It's one of the easier grades. But if you want 15,000 time, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also just like it takes so long to like actually fully timing it down. It's such a long graze. It's like 70 seconds or something. And like keeping the rhythm for it throughout the whole thing can be really challenging. And here we go. Funny graze time. Honest man's death.
This is actually a very cool spell, unless you actually do it yourself.
Yeah, watching it's really cool. And it's honestly not that bad once you get it down.
It's also guaranteed to kill you the first time you try to cap it.
Oh yeah.
Like when you're just doing like extra, when you just unlock extra and you try the stage and you got this, it's like...
Oh, you're referring to that.
Like what? Like what is happening here?
Oh, big laser sweeps the entire screen. Awesome.
Yeah, it's like Moko. It's like a smarter Marisa.
Yeah.
So the thing with HMD is it's a terrible spell no matter what you do. It's shit for survival, it's terrible for scoring. For survival it's stupid design because you die once to it and then never again. For scoring it's terrible because you need to make like 78 micro taps. And if your taps are off you die. Even if your taps aren't off enough,
I see
you
captain.
still lose score. Very funny. Levea's consistency is better than mine on H.
Nice, he actually capped it.
That's
He
crazy.
doesn't have bombs, so if he doesn't cap it, he would just die.
Yeah.
It's the most profitable spell in the stage too.
The almost pitiful Moku damage kind of comes in play on the Nons a bit. Especially these late game Nons.
It can kill you. When you go above, above Moko on the side, it's possible that the bullets from this first set of bullets will just completely block your path through the gap, and you're just sitting there waiting for the gap to go away. But by that time, the purple bullets surrounding you, they're already coming in, so it can be really mean. It usually isn't, but sometimes, man.
Okay, nice. Capped another now. Okay, now he's Levea entering that Phoenix Tail. Phoenix
Tail. He could make it shorter by focusing. Bypass the familiars. But obviously loses a lot of score. Because the time bonus would just run down.
One nice thing is that he did get a extra bomb, so he can bomb this if he needs to.
He will need it. I'm almost certain.
Oh.
Unless the...
Oh.
Well, he's trying to cap it.
What a god! What
Oh my
a
god.
god!
Cap it.
I feel when you cap it on a dead run, it's...
Yeah, it's awful.
Actually, speaking of that now, I think ASL capped it with solo ring while he's
He kept it in every run. He kept it in every run.
He capped it every run, so ASL was pretty insane.
Fortunately, he lost the gauge a bit there. One important thing to note about Volcano, the spell that we just saw, is that if you kill her while there's, I think, more than one of those bomb clusters, or whatever you want to call them, the familiar clusters, you actually lose the items.
Yeah, I actually have to test it with teams, because it's definitely a thing for solo humans, because they get larger cancels. You hit the item cap through the cancel if you have more than 20 familiars, which is 2 explosions. But I don't know if you hit the item cap with teams. It's possible that you get some items, but not everything. Also possible that you get all items. I haven't actually tested that. And that was very close. That was very sloppy for the grazing on as by Phoenix here.
But if your tap is too short, you can also die, right?
Yes.
So it's like very tricky.
Yeah. If you tap too far, you get boxed in at the top.
Can you, like, if you tap too long, like, can you do like a spin near the end just to save it?
I have
If your
no
tap
idea.
is too long and you hit the top, you're dead. There's nothing to save.
Can you like start spinning near the top if you know it's not going?
No, because you're going to hit the bullets that were aimed at you just before. You don't have any room upwards if you do that, right?
So kind of like restream then?
You can't restream, the bullets are way too fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you mess up the tapping,
There's also like leftover bullets that are like a bit slower than the ones that come out really fast, so you'd also have to avoid those.
Yeah.
So this is also an interesting grade. Like I have always found this one pretty fun to practice for some reason.
I think it's a very good spell where it's at in the stage, near the end. It starts off very easy and it piles on pressure more and more as it goes on. But it's very boring to practice because you start very slow. So the first 30 seconds are always like, okay, I know I won't die to this. Come on, give me the arrowheads too.
Yeah.
But for a final spell, it's really good because it does exactly like it gives you a small grace period before it like tries to actually kill you, and I think that's very nice.
Yeah, and like by design, it just looks like a final spell. It's this majestic fighting.
I think it's also entirely, like, all the phases are entirely based on time, too. Like, how long it spell lasts.
Yes.
Okay, he's doing pretty good. Okay, he capped it.
Alright, here we
And
go.
now my favorite spell in the entire series. Except he doesn't graze it like I do.
So, imperishable shooting, also known as drawing circles with a keyboard.
Yeah.
So one thing to keep in mind is that you only have 8 directions in Touhou, and you have to like approximate circles of different sizes with those 8 directions.
Very hard pattern.
He
Understandable to
died.
fail
That's
it.
pretty early.
Unfortunate. There's also square hitboxes, too.
So what's the score?
0.72.
2.7. Did that beat your PV, Helio?
I have no idea, actually. I think it does. My PV sucks at this game, bro. I'm bad at this
I
game.
think you had a 7.4, right? Like you were a little bit higher than that.
My PV is 2.743, yeah.
Yeah. Why do I know your PB better than you do?
I don't know, man. I don't pay attention to my PVs. I'm just like, yeah, my PV sucks.
So that's 11 points exactly.
Nice. I'm actually curious, what does Pingval need to beat that?
So he almost needs a PV then.
2.45. Yeah, that's going to need an actually clean run. So he will need to get a no miss fourth spell, potentially even cap everything. Maybe he can afford a bomb on the final one, but in order to actually beat that score, he will need a good run for sure.
Levea
Like,
going to
actually
practice
good
IS.
A single bomb is already 10 mil, right?
Yeah.
So
It's more if you kill the pattern with the bomb, because obviously you lose the star items.
yeah.
But for like when I plan a bomb on the final non-spell, I plan it so that I don't actually kill the pattern. Precisely because of that. So I'm assuming that if Pingval plants a bomb for the pattern, he's going to do the same. Because any smart player would do the same. Use the bomb for relief, not for finishing off the attack.
Yeah, like I watched him a little bit, and I saw him spend 2 regular bombs on it.
2 bombs? He can't afford 2 bombs.
Yeah.
That is if he wants to beat Levea's score. I don't think he can afford 2 bombs. Would need to be an otherwise fantastic run in order to actually use 2 bombs and still get 2.45.
Yeah.
Did his PB use 2 bombs?
I think it did. But
wish
I know
I think he always used 2 bombs, like even with Solo Marisa.
Helio.
There's no way he used 2 bombs as Solo Marisa. The Master Spark lasts for like 15 seconds.
I was about to say, I haven't seen it like since the last time he was
I think
on.
he actually used 2 bombs because I checked like a lot of runs. But
I didn't see it because I was playing myself when he got that record.
Oh,
yeah, but so if he just if he can save a bomb, then it's an instant 10 mil gain. Pretty
Yes.
big.
Very big, especially for solo humans.
So maybe
Oh my
maybe
god,
give up.
that's awful.
That's horrible.
That's,
When you die, it resets your gauge, so we lost double pip from that too. And in addition to the lives and bombs, that's horrible.
yeah, that's 50 million from the live, and God, what's that? 8. I swear to God, I can't do math.
I don't even know how many items there were. How many was it? 40?
40.
So that's 880 times 40. Or
That's 18 million about. I think. If my math isn't wrong, that's about 18 million.
Well, anyway, it's a pretty big loss. Yeah, because Solar Rim just has no damage, and you have to dodge longer with that.
Yeah, that's true. You also have less time to collect the items, so it's a bit more tight than with the armor.
Yeah, you can see that
Especially since
he's
you're
trying
slower.
to. He was like dodging higher on the screen, so he can prepare for the POC.
Yeah, which means the pattern is a bit harder.
Yeah. While Levea is practicing his
failed spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing imperishable shooting before, now he's doing Sufu. I feel like doing imperishable shooting isn't so much worth it, because even if you get 50 million, it's only like 100 million gain total. Like it's worth 100 million if you get a 50 million spell bonus. But there's only one idiot who's ever gotten 50 million.
Yeah.
I think Levea's PB is like 46.
I'm actually
And
curious
then
what's
once-
mine. Mine's
Once he gets closer to like 43, 44. So it's like a 90 million gain for him if he caps it. And
My best
obviously
on
you
it
don't
is
lose
like
the
40.
90 million because you gain some grace before you fail it. Like in his particular case just now, he was about third to a half, like somewhere in between, 40% of the spell. So he gained a good chunk of the score already.
Oh yeah, did we mention like the star item value? I don't think you actually went in detail with it, like how much you
Right,
actually
I did
gained.
say I would do it. So star item value is tied to grace, and 100 grace raises the item value for the star item value by 25 score each. So it's a 1-to-4 ratio, 4 grace for 1 score. Obviously it doesn't count 1 score, but rounds it up after you get enough grace. And it's maxed at, if I remember correctly, 8,000 per item, per star item. So you want
it's actually capped?
I believe so, yes.
Oh wow.
I thought that's like the cancel bonus when you cap a spell. But you get an additional cancel bonus.
That's possible too. It's possible.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think it's
that up.
capped at 8,000.
Stage is just bullying the both of them right now.
That's the Iron Extra experience.
Yeah.
That's
Stage is brutal.
100% normal.
Stage is so brutal, man.
One thing Zhen did pretty well about the stage design is that he set the health of the familiar high enough so that you can kill the enemy just by shooting their familiars. If it's not the case, then like solo humans in general will be losing a lot of score because you get a much lower familiar cancel bonus.
It's true. But it's also the reason why the solo human cancels are so much harder. Because you usually destroy familiars because control is much more precise and therefore much more difficult.
Yeah, I think one thing that I kind of got into a small argument with in the chat on the lunatic scoring was the POCs.
To elaborate, what was the problem?
I was just trying to figure out if you gray items, do you lose the double piv bonus that humans get? Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one was so
think
nice
the
about it. He made
The Japanese slides actually said that you won't, but from all my experience, I think you do.
but either way you lose half the.
So
the
like
amount.
if you collect an item just below the POC line, you will be like basically what's written at the lower left corner. So basically, you lose the double bonus, and then it goes down from there.
Yeah, it's 50%, just below the line. Half score.
And Zen was so nice, he made the POC lower than the gold item thing. So if you POC and you don't like go up a little bit higher, you'll actually still grade the items.
That's half wrong. The POC line and the gold item line is the same, but your sprite collects the item before the POC line, because the items get set when your hitbox is above the POC line, but the items get collected once they hit your sprite. But your sprite extends downwards, so if you have the hitbox just above the POC line, your sprite is actually below the POC line, which means you will grade the items.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically, if you collect an item from below, it's easier to grade because your hitbox has a size and that extends beyond the POC line.
That's something I didn't actually know. I thought it was just.
Yeah, he didn't realize this problem and he fixed it from Morph and onward. So your yellow line and your POC lines actually are different.
Okay. Dang. I'm over here spreading misinformation. SMH.
You can see that, like in Morph scoring, like they can like just collect an item without going above the POC line and still collect it in yellow.
Yeah,
but
I know that.
They it's technically to do something similar in these old games by like collecting an item from below, between the POC line and the yellow line. So that's a system. It's a annoying mechanic in older games.
One thing I want to quickly mention while Levea is still on the spell, the strat he's doing is not actually the best strat. There is one way that's way better and gives like 50 million extra score, which would be huge in a world record setting. But it's also much more precise, which is why he's not doing it. But it would be the first thing I would personally add if I wanted to go for 3.1 with this shot.
Isn't it also like way harder?
Of course it's way harder.
Why did I even ask?
Basically, the best strats in Iron Extra are always way too difficult, so no one can clear. Which is why no one actually has a run with all the best strats included. Everyone makes compromises.
Even you?
Of course. My PB fails a spell, what do you think?
Oh yeah, that's true. It's kind of a shame too, because the stage, like, if you ignore like the big grazes, the stage really isn't that bad. It's just the grazes are like so insanely hard.
Yeah. Like 80% of the difficulty lies within the absolutely balls to the walls grazes. Ichijo, Xufu, Honest Man Seth, and Perishable Shooting are all so incredibly difficult that getting above 30% cap rate is would be insane. For Rydal, depends on how hard you want to go. If you want to get 3000 grace consistently, that's also very, very difficult. Levea entering Moku with a run that hasn't failed anything yet, but it's not a great run. His time is a bit low. He has reasonable items, but his time is a bit low. It's PB pace, but not great PB pace. Alright, speaking of the items, in Levea's case, he actually improved the item collection for Ghost Team, because ASL in his run uses a bomb, which is really bad because Yomu's bomb sucks. Yomu's bomb sucks for the item collection, and he actually devised a way where he can leave the bomb alone, and he actually gets more items too, so it's like a huge increase over ASL's run. Like 10 million from the bomb saved, of course, and then he gets more items to boot. It's actually a huge improvement, or like a relatively minor thing.
But it's a little bit more risky, right? Because I think
of course it's risky. He doesn't use the bomb, doesn't have any iframes.
Yeah.
But it's better.
And also, I don't think he can really focus after the vertical bullets
Yeah,
either.
because I saw him die into that section a lot.
'Cause he needs to keep he needs to keep Mion shooting to the top right to kill more fairies. So
but it's better.
so he can't focus at all after that when he gets into that position for it.
Yeah, the reason being that the option resets when you focus. That's why he can't actually focus. Just so everyone
Yeah.
is clear on that.
Yeah.
They're both on pace runs basically on Moko. I don't like Pingval's items, but maybe that's normal for Reimu. I feel like Reimu should get better items than most shots because of her homing being able to kill everything on screen. But I'm guessing blue fairies on the Jolly Bean sections just disappear too quick to kill many of them.
So can you explain a little bit how this spell Pingval doing actually works? Like when does the hitbox disappear? I have always wondered that.
So, Xufu... Good question. So the way Xufu works is the amulets are static. They're completely static. The hitbox spawns when they spawned, when the bullet spawns, but the amulet hitbox is very small. So with Reimu, who has a very small hitbox, you can stay at the bottom. But you have to find the right gaps, because once the bullets move up and you are above the bullet, you would die. So, but because the amulets are static, you can just memo the positions. It's the same for the grace. It's the same for the grace. You just do it at the top of the given. But the positioning is the same every time. The hard part of the grace is of course the movement and not the positioning. Except the positioning is difficult when you're doing the movement. Get less time, but that's a bit of a different story. The amulets, they kill you when they move up if you're above them, but the hitbox is so small that you can hug the bottom as long as they're static.
It is worth mentioning that if Reimu didn't have her ability to not get hit by red familiars, she would actually die from the red familiar sweeping the bottom of the screen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So it's basically a border team only strat.
I mean, you can do it with other teams, because like the yokais don't get hit by sitting at the bottom.
So,
it's just it's a little bit of a problem for other shot type, or for the other humans.
Yeah, if you're doing the grace with magic, Scarlet, Ghost, or Solo Yamu, there's actually a window where you don't get hit from the bullets from the bottom, but also don't get hit from the familiars at the top. And you have to hit that window, otherwise you're going to die 100%. If you're too high, you die from the familiars. If you're too low, you're eventually going to get hit by the red amulets coming from the bottom. And if I'm looking properly, I feel like Levea just barely has the correct height. He's a bit low. I would prefer like a pixel or two higher, but not more than that.
Pingval got boxed in.
Yeah, just more half a pixel. Oh,
they both got hit, so rip PBs on both sides.
Unfortunate.
But Phoenix Tail is tricky with Solo Human, just because you have to dodge for so long. It just never ends.
Yeah.
By the way, one thing that I found is it's easier on the side. It takes even longer to kill, but it's easier. I can't believe he's actually double bombing this. Damn.
The double bomb.
Well, it takes like 40 seconds to cap it.
Yeah.
It takes 40 seconds if you're below Moko. It takes 50 if you're on the side. But it's easy on the side, so I think it's worth. Not to mention, it's worth more score.
But I think it's probably
at least for Solo Yamu, it's better to do it on the side to score. With Reimu, probably not so much. it probably doesn't make a big difference. I mean, both of them
Honest man
continuing is
stuff again.
like weird because both of them are. Well, in the one is in the middle of the boss fight, the other one is near the end of the boss fight. So resetting on like the 7th spell, I don't do that in regular runs. So I feel like it makes complete sense to not do it in this setting. But I hate the spin stretch for this. I actually could never get the spin stretch.
I mean, Pingval maybe just wants to finish a run first. Yeah, the spin stretch. Sorry, go ahead.
That's everything. That's all I wanted to say. I could never get this. Too hard for me.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw him die into the spin once on stream, so it's not that easy.
The survival is so funny. It's like, I feel like almost all of the difficulty of it, even in like scoring, is just the aimed section.
Another honest man's death cap from Levea. I did say he's more consistent than me. It just shows.
Nice.
That's crazy.
I've not been keeping track of his grazes, of the graze numbers, because I don't like wanna sound mean if it's low. Just saying that. If you want me to keep track of it, I'll do it from the spells now onwards.
I have a hard time paying attention to two things at once too. Or well.
So he has failed one spell so far.
Yes.
It's still a PV phase, right? In the TWC. He can still beat his previous run, right?
They both failed one spell so far. One failed Phoenix Head, the other one picked Zufu.
He failed Zufu further into it though than the previous run, so he could definitely beat the score he has. Nothing major bad happens. He rammed her.
Happens sometimes. Obviously a bit sloppy, but it happens.
Yeah, happens.
You can't avoid that kind of mistakes. The problem with Moku's hitbox is it's a rectangle, vertically oriented, and it extends past the sprite. So sometimes it's hard to actually accurately gauge the hitbox. It's a problem on the first non-spell too when you're spinning her.
Yeah, the legendary dying to the air.
I've literally died to air on that.
Oh, I have too.
So fat.
It's so annoying. Looking like we might see an IS or a successful IS from Pingval. What's funny is that since the spell card bonus is so low naturally, it starts at like
so I think we'll see the
he's going to fail it.
Yeah. It's worth more score to fail it on the final phase than it is to cap it for the solo humans because they can't gain any
but
time.
You have to have enough grace to actually make it worth it. He has 31,000 here, so that's about as much as I get on a run. So it's worth it, but if your price is too low.
Well, congrats on finishing a run.
At least we have everything. At least everyone has something on board. That's better than the last time Iron Extra was on. Actually, I did finish something, but it was terrible.
Yeah. Oh man. This category, man.
It's not a trivia score to get with Solo Reimu. Not to mention he did fail a spell. And the failed spell means 20 from bombs and then like 35 from the spell bonus because Reimu can't keep it at max. So
if he didn't fail that, it would have been a pretty decent score.
It would have been close to PB in fact.
Yeah.
And then the double bomb on it not killed it.
I think that's just his route. Like he always does that. Like he doesn't even like try to dodge a little bit before the first bomb. So I'm pretty sure he just always does that.
If he had captured Phoenix Bell and used one bomb on the last non, it would have been a world record. It would have been a PB. It would have beaten his current PB, and it would have score. I don't agree with the double bomb. Like one bomb planned, sure, but I don't agree with two. Two is too much. It's not worth it, especially not on a shot that scores this low.
You just lose so much.
I just don't agree. He doesn't even try to dodge it. It's
like strategically, he might have to like save a bomb for this to win. But if you only do one bomb, you would have to dodge for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds in total. That's still pretty hard.
I don't think you have to dodge for that long. You do have to remember that
of course, but like the damage is not that big. It's like a third of the HP bar, so
that is true.
Yeah, you're going to have to dodge for 15 to 20 seconds. It's true. It's hard. I'll admit that it's very difficult, but I don't agree with bombing before you even try to dodge anything.
That's for sure. Like you can still bomb like
that bomb is
only when it gets hard, per se.
Yeah, ideally you would never have to death bomb. I mean, ideally you wouldn't have to bomb at all, but you know, funny non-spell.
The time penalty matters because it reduces the end game bonus.
Yeah. Remember last year's bingo? In the last year bingo match, we actually had capping the Death Offering with Solo Rim as a challenge. So that's how hard it is.
That's just wrong, SBO. You have to remember that clear bonus is 5x2, and if you death bomb on the final one, you lose like over 1,000 time, and that's already over 2 million.
Oh yeah, isn't it like there's like some weirdness with how much time you lose?
It depends on how much time you have. It's percentage based, but there's like a cap, and the cap is around 1,000. But you're definitely going to have hit the cap if you're that late into the stage on a score run.
Most definitely, yeah.
1 million sounds really like insignificant.
It sounds insignificant, but you have to remember that solo humans can't make up for that kind of loss with grazing. They have to gain that back through cancels and everything. And 2 million at world record level is a lot for solo humans. So it matters if you want to PB. It may not matter in this setting, like generally overall, but we did see
also,
just like an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago that a category that scores more than twice as much ended up having a difference of 4 million. So
no spoilers, please. No spoilers, please.
Too late. I already said it.
Yeah,
not to mention you also lose 2 bombs.
Yeah.
I didn't say who won.
Okay, nice. You took my headphones off.
But yeah, 2 million matters on solo humans. It may not matter for teams as much or for solo Yelmu, but on solo Reimu it definitely matters.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah, I think Levea is going to cap ice.
Don't be so sure. I've died hundreds of times on the red arrow.
Don't choke the end.
Oh, no. Okay, he capped it.
Okay,
he capped it. But it wasn't a good cap. Only 37 million spell bonus is actually quite low for him too.
Yeah.
He did improve his run though, so that's nice.
2.78, nice.
60 million more now.
Wow, he beat my PV. That didn't take him any effort at all. Oh man.
Okay, now I think 14.5. Oh, we lose integer TVC score.
Yeah, so Pingval definitely has the world record if he wants to win this. But he did do it last time he played on TWC. Why shouldn't he do it again?
It's definitely possible.
Wow, talking about expectations. We still have 25 minutes left. I'm curious on what Levea is planning to do after this. Like,
just going to get a full spell no miss. No problem, it's easy. Trust me, I've gotten lots of them.
Oh man.
Averaging like once every 5 years.
Not quite. I've started playing in 2013 and I've gotten 4 of them, so once every 2.5 years.
Oh, nice.
It's more than me.
I've also played like 10 years longer than you, so.
We're gonna ignore that fact.
Yeah, one thing is that we basically we nerfed this. We nerfed all the solo human shots because, like, we considered the difficulty. Like, if you finish a clean run with a team, it means that you did all the grazes correctly. So it's basically a solo human run past all the grazes. So we consider that if you manage to do a clean run with teams, it's basically impossible to beat it with a solo human run. Excluding Yomu, of course, because it's not really solo.
Yeah. Yomu is essentially a team.
Although the graph didn't even show, didn't even go near the Yomu potential. It just stopped in the middle. 3.1 is where the line was cut, and everything after that is a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to give an idea that if Levea finished a clean run with full spell no miss, Pingval has to basically, let's say, just graze like teams per se, and then cap Ring of Death without bombs. Yeah.
It's not a cap if you bomb, so.
Well, yeah, well, sure. So basically, cap Ring of Death. That's how. If Levea did a clean run, that's the only way to win with solo human.
Yeah, but he's not going to. It's just way too hard. You just getting the four difficult grazes, Ichijo, Xufu, Honest Man's Death, and just getting those 4 in a row in practice mode is like 1 in 1,000. You're not doing this, and then getting everything else on top of that, it's just not happening. Like 2.7 with Ghost Team is already 0.8 would be pretty good. Everything above that is like, that would be phenomenal.
I know. I think it was, I don't know how long ago it was, but Levea had like a little thing on his stream where he said his goal for TWC was 2.9, I think.
I don't think that's happening.
I don't think so either. But,
2.9 can only happen if you fail one spell, and it's not a grace.
Yeah.
And I think that's too much. I could see that happening if his route was better. If he used more difficult strats, more profitable strats, and graced better, then I could see it happening. But with his current route, there's just not enough leeway in order to actually get to 0.9 without an actually really clean run. Very ambitious, but probably not happening.
Yeah.
Well, they are both in the beginning now.
It's
They're both getting,
this is
they're both getting
the
bullied
extra
again.
experience. That's why you're normally stuck, because the cancels are hard.
Yeah. Or you just keep getting clipped by something stupid.
Oh,
Or
there's
you just-
one thing that I was curious about. Like, do you optimize the opening grades? Like the really fast aim bullets in the opening.
I'd never reset for those.
Yeah.
But like, do you go too aggressive and die to it, for example?
Yes, I die sometimes, but I don't reset for low grace.
Yeah.
I see.
Same.
Like, well, my question is more like if you optimize it, how much more would you gain? Or like
So
how hard it is to optimize it?
Probably gain
So-
like an extra couple hundred.
So if you do it normally, you get like 3,000. If you do it well, you get 3,300. For Yomu and Ghost, Ramus Stride is a bit different because the shot is different.
Yeah, she
So
gets
you
the
gain more
abuser
there.
homing.
Sakuya also is a bit more because bigger grace box and everything. But it's if you get less than 3k, you messed up.
Okay, so the grade extraction is not that low, basically.
Yeah. Easy. It's not too bad. So even getting like 3-3 grace is honestly consistent, more or less.
Nice.
One
Well,
thing you
I
have to
think-
be careful. One thing you have to be careful of though is you don't want to be too high because the bullets are very fast, so they don't actually have a grace box at the start. That's something I don't think anyone has mentioned today yet.
yeah.
Bullets in Imperishable Knight don't actually have a grace box when they spawn. So very fast bullets sometimes don't give you any grace if you're too close to them.
I
So
thought-
on some patterns you want to be away from the bullets a little bit. Honest Man's Death is a good example for that. If you're too high, you lose grace because the tentacle things that are aimed around you, they pass you so quickly that if you're too high, they haven't actually spawned a grace box yet when they're close to you. So there's an actual hard cap for Honest Man's Death grace, and that hard cap is about 6,800 to 6,900 if you're Yomu or Ghost team. Scarlet team is like 8,000, but thereabouts.
Yeah, grade delay is a thing only in PCB and IN. I think the PCB commentators must have covered this.
Yeah, I was gonna mention earlier, but I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, it's actually important to note. It's also important on the first non-spell because you're spinning Moko. You can't be too close because the bullets actually won't give you any grace if you're too close. Also, you're going to die to Moko if you're too close, so I guess you would do it either way, a bit away from her.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't cover it in the Lunatic, but well, now you know.
I don't even know.
Oh, it
how
was
many-
in UFO. That's interesting. I kind of wish it was still a thing.
Yeah, that would make you for a much better game.
Finally, no more Ichirin mid-non grays.
Yeah. Is there
Finally,
any spot in the
scores
main
to get to
game-
stage 4.
Is there any spot in the main game where you have to be careful not to be too close to the bullet spawns because of the grace issue?
Getting more Ichijo.
Well, yeah, the lasers work different. Lasers are just lasers and they don't have a grade delay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have another supporter for killing eye grades. Yeah.
Mind you, Ichijo's
yeah.
normal. Ichijo's hard.
Happens. Yeah. Her movement can be really annoying sometimes.
Well, if a movement is annoying you, then you're fucked up.
Yeah, but like,
Because her vertical movement doesn't really matter. Only at the very, very start can it be a problem, depending on the rotation of the pattern. By the way Ichijo works, it's a static pattern, but that rotates on its own axis. But the starting rotation is random.
yeah.
So there are some rotations that give that are easier to grace and give more grace, and then there are some that are really shit for grace.
I think Pingval like let a fairy run away just before the big fairy.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
He has
wow,
way too
got
many
out.
items for that.
Yeah, I think because I saw a fairy just about to leave the screen. Maybe he killed it just in time.
Yeah, he definitely got that. Because if he hadn't, he would have 84 items, and that's 2 away from the max, I think. Max was 600. God, I don't fucking know.
It's some amount.
It's either 686 or 689. One of the two. I don't remember.
He killed it.
I hate that non. When she moves like with it, when you have to go swoop under the thing, it can be really sketchy. Especially if she moves like down left.
My favorite non-one strat is the double lane grace.
Yeah, that's exactly because you have grace delay. You have to do that.
The double lane grace is funny, but it only really works for teams.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Border and Scarlet Team can really take advantage of it because they're slow. You need fast unfocused movement. But I actually tested it with Ghost Team and it's actually worth it. It actually gives noticeable improvements, unlike the Yamo where you like kind of end up even because you mess up your gauge all the time. And you don't gain it back by grazing. Oops, there's someone in chat telling me to check the grace after. Okay. Or more or less telling me that. He failed it, that wasn't good.
Unfortunate.
It do be like that most of the time. So basically what you're looking for on Ichijo, if you're not ASL, like if you want to beat ASL, let's just set that as the base because this one's 100 years old. And then if you're below 2500, you don't want that. You want to be over 2500 at least.
Yeah. Yeah, on Zufu you frequently drop gauge.
Yeah.
So it's better to judge it by time rather than graze, because you can end up with a lot of graze but terrible time. And also funny cancel.
In my case it's mostly the cancel. For other people it might be gauge management too.
Yeah.
If I was playing a solo human shot, like an actual solo human shot, I would still grace Xufu. I don't think I would care because it wouldn't be any different.
That's true.
It wouldn't like prolong the pattern. It wouldn't make it significantly harder for me, I don't think. And it dies in like 20 seconds anyway. I wouldn't do honest man stat though. Fuck that. Unfocused. Jeez.
Ugh. Unfocused honest man's dead.
You would have to focus tap, of course.
Well, yeah, but still.
That's
extra things you have to think about.
Yeah, like a perfect solo human run is basically more difficult than teams. Because you did everything team that but in like unfocused mode.
Oh man. Watching this makes me want to get back into Ion Extra, but I already know how that'll end.
Well, me too, but my keyboard's still fucked, so I can't. Doesn't matter.
Ah, my gosh, these nons, man.
Yeah, the nons after Honest Man's death are very hard. Oh, well, not very hard, but they're difficult. They can kill you. They can catch you off guard. And if you have to dodge for as long as you have to with as you do with Reimu, that's a bit difficult, yeah.
Not to mention you also ideally do them on focus too. Or well, with focus taps, but still, it's like
not only that, you would optimally only shoot the wings.
Oh my gosh, bro. I remember when Levea found that out about Solo Yomu, or not Solo Yomu, the Ghost Team Yomu. The very cursed, super long dance.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just because the time gain isn't actually lowered, but the damage is. That's very weird. So Solo Yomu makes more sense. You gain a bit more time because the damage is a bit lower, but it's not like significant. But if you do it on month 6 and 7 with Ghost Team, it's like over 10 million score gain. It's absolutely insane. With the almost not even 5 million on both.
Oh, he lost a fairy. Or an enemy. That's so unfortunate.
Can't actually. He lost 2 enemies, not 1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I only saw the one.
He's missing 2 items, so he missed 2 enemies.
Yeah. I didn't see the second one, I only saw one of them. Got pretty decent time though. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, but the lower damage is also present on the Yuyuko last word. So I guess whatever's
in... that's the only logical explanation for why it was nerfed. Well, besides a coding error.
Sounds funnier if it's a coding error, though.
It's definitely a coding error because it probably was only supposed to affect Yuyuko and not Yomu.
Well, I mean, coding error, I think it wasn't like he wasn't trying to nerf it at all, but then just somehow tapping the wrong number, say. Like the mock Marisa B, but the other way. Well, yeah, that's another explanation. Yeah. So we have, wow, it's already almost over, 7 minutes.
Man.
It's okay, they're not going to finish the run, so we have another half hour in front of us.
So how many Ichijo attempts can Levea do in like 7 minutes? 2?
Depends on how long he takes to die. If he dies at the start, 4. No wait, you have to actually graze the first wall, that's, well, 2 or 3.
So he has like 2 or 3 attempts.
So it's about a minute to the mid-boss, and then you have a minute on the first non. And if you die immediately on Ichijo, it's about 2 to 3 attempts.
Yeah, I think someone in chat asked, does Sakura spread default damage to the wings? I think so. And Sakura is actually like... Sakura is actually not that bad if you hit everything. Like, it's much better than Reimu per se.
Sakura is a funny shot type.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sakura is not affected by that kind of nerf like Yuyuko is. So Sakura is better than Reimu. Because she actually can hit. She can actually deal some damage to Moko on the spells. And on the later non-spells.
Man, I really need to be paying more attention to like what he has at the start.
Someone in chat is posting about it. So this time it's 26. That's, well, not quite 26. 2,570. Which is about average for Levea.
Gotcha. I have a really hard time splitting my attention between the two screens. It's naturally bad at multitasking type thing.
Yeah. Also, Pingval is using the B for shooting on his controller. I think people typically use A. I don't know.
I don't know either, I use the keyboard. The yellow circle on Reimu's screen is actually an eye tracker from Pingval. So that's where he's looking at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's the eye tracker. That's not part of the game.
Yeah.
It's Reimu's secret shield. She can't get hit when the bullet passes through that yellow shed. That's why Reimu is secretly the strongest character.
Yo.
If I had
Shield
an eye
with
tracker,
C.
like people would see me like checking my grades, my time all the time, instead of actually looking at the screen.
Very good cancel from Pingval on that flying phoenix.
Nice.
So a perfect cancel on that would be like 7.9 million. Yellow cancel, that is. But I'm pretty sure that Reimu is so terrible that you can't actually get that. And would have to wait an extra cycle, which of course would mean you lose like way too much spell bonus. So
Yeah.
that was a very good cancel. 7.45. Can't really complain about that in any capacity.
So this is, he hasn't made a mistake so far, right? It's
Neither player has, yes. But
yeah,
now that
judging
you've
from the
said
results,
that,
it looks like yeah.
A little early for that, but yeah.
Levea's run is average for him. It's not bad, it's not great. It's average. It's on pace for PB.
Okay, let's pray that he doesn't die to Shifu again.
Openness always 4,000. Yeah, like if you have less than 4,000, you messed up. Unless you're doing double lane grades, in which case you want to get like 4,500. But no one does it.
Oh, speaking of which, is Volcano the only spell where you can like where your item can disappear?
Yes.
I think so.
The only spell where that happens. On Xufu, you have the bullet cap, and you can hit the item cap, but only the item cap is shared only among the star items and the time orbs, but it doesn't affect the point items.
Okay, so he did some coding protection for that, but he didn't do it for Volcano.
Yeah, probably he did that because you always hit the item cap on Xufu, because you always have like the max amount of bullets, 1,550 or some shit, and you always get more than 500 time orbs. So probably he did he protected the point items like that. But in Fujiyama it's a bit different because you can actually cancel the pattern without losing the items.
Oh, Olivia just died to first. Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
mentioned that.
a very expensive death. Because you lose the 50 million from the item, from the life. You lose 20 items, each of which is worth $1 million, so that's 20 million there.
Pattern
You
also takes a little longer. Power is lower. Is that correct? Don't just stop talking. Don't leave me hanging here.
I'm just so nervous for Pingval, like hoping he doesn't die or anything.
I mean, he could still reset. The question is just, is he going to cap Ichiji on that next attempt?
Well, he only has 30 seconds. I don't think.
Yeah, like resetting now would be.
If he reset now, he would be forced to cap Ichiji, or just.
It'd be a pretty optimistic reset, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Phoenix Tail.
Right.
Yeah.
Please don't be a jerk today or this time.
I don't do it on the side. It's less dense there. Why are you in the middle? Oh.
I hate this pattern so much sometimes.
I mean, it's working for him. It's
My cat.
I don't want to say anything to jinx this.
My cap rate on Phoenix Tail improved from like 40% to 70% once I did it on the side. So doing it in the middle is obviously harder.
Final
Either that or like
both players locked in.
And this is final round. Okay, he bombed.
So he double bombed. That's what he always does apparently. Okay. I don't think it can beat Levea's score though. Even if this is PB potential, I don't think
he needs 2.47. Okay, so he needs like a 2 and PB.
Yeah, I don't think he can get that much.
I would be very surprised.
He just gave up 20 million. There's no way.
Yeah, like. Yeah, I don't see it. Levea on Zufu again.
Yeah, we'll see. 1 out of 3, maybe.
That would be ideal.
Ideal would be 3 out of 3.
Well, yeah, but
1 out of 3 would be a small solace.
Trying to be optimistic here, man. It's fine. The previous misses were just happy little accidents.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, Yomu happy.
Shofu.
Shofu.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not the pronunciation, but sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's right either. But
Yoshu.
okay, only
Can't
one
believe
cycle
it.
left for Levea.
Let's go. Don't die to the end like I always do.
That's
Nice.
13,100.
Okay, some pausing just to rest a bit.
That's okay. That's an alright Xufu. Well, it's a good Xufu for him. On the other hand, Pingval is still on pace. He's still on pace to beat his current run, like by a lot.
It's still PB pace, right? Like his actual world record PB.
I'm not sure actually.
Might be. It's because he hasn't felt anything, so could be world record pace.
It's definitely possible that he's still on like actual PB pace.
Okay, so in parallel shooting.
Well, ideally, the time on HMD would match the, would be like, 3 times the graze or whatever.
But it doesn't because you get a cancel.
Well, yeah,
full from
but,
previous on the pattern.
That's true, yeah. But, like, you know what I mean. I don't know, I guess just count time. Or graze, one of the two. Or both.
No, graze, because the time is pretty much consistent. The cancel is pretty much random, because you can't time that with the bullets being that fast.
Gotcha.
I guess you could do both. His honest man stuff is legitimately good though. Like not good by his standards, but also by mine. So in most cases, he should get something quite good. if he caps.
Levea is just so consistent with on
Yeah.
his stat.
He's 2 out of
So
2
you
right
say,
now,
but then he
isn't
died.
Ah,
I
dang it.
That's basically it. His run is over.
Yeah.
Both runs are over actually, but for different reasons. Levea can't beat his own run anymore. Neither his
Oh my
nor
gosh.
the run he submitted there. And
Commentator's
wow,
curse.
I'm actually legitimately shocked. That's way
Wow.
higher.
Wow.
That's
okay, so
holy.
world record.
482 Bill.
Dang.
Actually,
That's way more
Heck.
than I expected.
and not only he
Wow.
got world record, I think he has won.
Yeah, he
the
beat
match.
He has
beat
won the match,
target.
yes,
Yeah, he won the
with a
match. That's
clutch
crazy.
recce on final run. That's
Dang.
insane.
GG Pingval.
He does it again every time he plays in
Insane.
TWC. He world records. He
That's
sets a recce every
ridiculous.
time.
Let.
Absolutely insane. Levea can't beat it anymore with his current run. The match is over. Failing on his man's death and dying on the first non together is just way too costly. He cannot beat it.
Yeah, he
insane.
can only make one mistake, basically, and he already had two.
Pingval
I
with
was-
the clutch.
I was way off with my estimation for Pingval's potential. I was way off. Goes to show that I know nothing about solo Reimu.
I mean, you know more than I do, so it's
I think the limit, his route limit was like 2.5, so basically he lost 20 mil from the bombs and did everything else correctly.
Yeah.
yeah.
He would have had 2.5 if he had kept the final non. Which of course is a tall order with solo Reimu.
Yeah.
Damn, that's insane.
Well, congrats.
I'm shocked.
to the
That's amazing.
world record.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Is that the first one this TWC?
Is
I
it?
mean, you shouldn't be getting world records on TWC.
Actually, no.
Yeah, but it happened
We had the-
years so far, hasn't it?
We had RB record on DDC.
Yeah, right. RB had broken the world
Double
record.
recce? What the?
That's
What
true.
the shit?
Yeah, he set double Rainbow A records. I died. Oh,
Oh,
Absolutely insane.
yeah. I mean, this run died the moment he died on HMD, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's super
The
dead
run,
now.
the run, depending on what your metric of measure is, the run died on the first non when he died there.
That's
Of
true.
course,
Yeah.
he could still beat his submission run for the tournament before HMD, but with the death of HMD, it was over.
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's just finish this round.
Yeah, I may as well just finish it anyway.
Yeah, RB updated the local United World Record last year. Well, like I don't know why these players just keep beating world record on TWC every time. Like, I don't understand.
Skill level in TWC is just like insane now.
The skill inflation is just like
I mean, TWC has always had the best place in the world playing, for the most part.
Yeah.
Particularly for the scoring runs.
yeah, world record every year. We should do more TLC so they can have more world records, like every month or something.
Oh my gosh, he died on this too.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, that happens when your taps are too small.
oh,
You
man.
make like the smallest tap possible, and the bullets will still hit you. That's just what happens when you're too good at micro tapping. You have to be a little bit shit at micro tapping, but not too much, otherwise you're going to hit the ceiling before the bullets are over. Just a little bit shit at micro tapping. Levea's too good for this stage, so he dies.
It's be like
it's
me
like
and being
Iwakasa.
bad at both.
If you don't die to Iwakasa, your score's not good enough. Iwakasa is the first spell of Moko. Just so
Yeah.
everyone knows.
It's man, I thought we were gonna be started on first spell. I don't even want to think about that pattern.
Yeah, typing. I think keyboard is already easier with the small tabs. Like if you do with the controller, it might be even harder.
How would you even, bro? Honest Man's Death with a controller just sounds impossible.
I don't even want to try.
Same.
Oh, Pingval just rated our channel. Thank you.
Thanks, Pingval. Big congratulations.
Nice. Update. You got almost 10,000 times in a single stage.
100,000, you mean?
100,000.
Oh yeah, 100. Yeah, 100,000. Yeah.
You can definitely get 100,000 with teams, and
Oh yeah. I think Levea's PB definitely gets over 100,000.
it does. In regards to Soloyamu, a fantastic run from start to finish with Soloyamu would get 130,000. But I haven't even managed to test that, like human tasks. Real time to human tasks. It's very tight.
GG's.
Well, GG.
GG.
Oh man. The rough stage.
It's a rough stage, but that was insane finish by Pingval. That was incredible.
Yeah. Incredible.
Hats off. Actually, I don't need. I can only wear one hat. Hat off to Pingval
Hat
for
off.
that one.
Yeah, like very much exceeded what I even thought he could
Okay,
possibly
so
get.
let's do the result announcement. So Pingval, congrats on your world record, scoring 2.482 bill, and with a TLC score of 15.8. And Levea did also pretty well. I got 2.787 bill, and with a TLC score of 14.5. Well, GG to everyone. Do we get Levea in the stream? Because
Be sure to catch the UM scoring tomorrow, I think.
It's tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, you're definitely not gonna want to miss that.
yeah, so next week, tomorrow we will have unconnected marketeer scoring, featuring Guy. Well, he's just not some guy, but the guy from Team Spirit and NS from Team Lotus.
What is this?
I like this
music?
BGM.
So yeah, lunatic scoring.
Just want to say that you have no idea how much trouble we have gone through to make this match happen.
Oh, I can imagine. Like, this game is just, the score is just all over the place. Like, you have Sakurai, who apparently his score cap is too low for P&D for her, and then like other shots that can't even get close to it. Like,
yeah, so it will be a fun match. Yeah, it's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Japan time, whatever that's in your own time zone.
Yeah, I think I'm asleep when that match happens. Should be like 5 a.m. if I did the math right. No way.
Oh yeah, same. That's like 1 a.m. for me. Unfortunate.
It will be 1 p.m. for me. Wait, no, 1 a.m. for me.
Yeah, this might just be the weirdest time I've seen for a match. Although I think the match right now is also, just now, was also at a very unusual time.
Yep, and yeah, and we will have a special announcement after the match. So be sure you don't leave before that. After the match tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. So
Well,
Levea
set time for that. 2 hours.
Okay.
If Levea's here, he can join comms for a quick interview.
I don't think Levea will come, so I guess we can just finish off.
I see.
So yeah, thank you everyone for watching the 2 in-person night rounds today, and see you tomorrow.
Appreciate everyone for stopping by.
Ian was so good.
Yeah, Iron is a good game.
Iron's such a great game.
It's the best game.
Alright,
Can't tell me anything else.
Okay, so
try to.
so see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you.
Bye bye.